Good morning. It's a lovely day today. The thought for the days that we've been doing have been based on the Lord's Prayer. Up to now we've done Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation. Now that's a hard one, isn't it? Lead us not into temptation. You see, every one of us face temptation in different ways. It can be different types of things. Temptation to lie, temptation to steal, to swear. It could be wrong motives, wrong thoughts. The list could go on, but we all face temptation. But I'm okay because I can resist everything except temptation. It's like the quote, there's always free cheese in a mouse trap. And the other one is all the water in the world, however hard it tries, can never sink even the smallest boat unless it gets inside. You see, the thing is, we have a choice, don't we? Do we give in to temptation or we stand strong? I just want to read a small story. It's about a little monkey called Teachy. A small monkey called Teachy was once fascinated by the curves of the dangerous beaks of vultures. A vulture landed near Teachy in the family tree. Teachy stared at every inch of its foul body. When no one was looking, it threw some food at the small bird, and then clapped and shouted, "Begone, begone!" The next day, 2 vultures came and landed near Teachy. They were larger birds. Again he threw food at the vultures before clapping and shouting, "Begone, begone!" Soon more and more came to the tree, and Teachy was now scared, so he started throwing stones at the vultures. As the week went by, the vultures no longer stood at a distance from Teachy. They grew bolder and bolder, and drew closer and closer. Some were above the little monkey, some were below. More and more began to circle ahead. Teachy started to clap and scream frantically, but eventually there were too many. The vultures alighted, and there was one more scream as the monkey was devoured. You see, temptation in itself, it's not wrong, but when we give in to temptation, that's the problem. And poor Teachy gave in to temptation at his loss. And when we give in to temptation, then we face consequences for that. We can all say yes or no. Satan can never make us give in. It's our choice. We choose whether to accept temptation or not. But the good news is that Jesus understands. If you read in Luke 4, Jesus is in the wilderness. He's in there for 40 days and 40 nights without food and drink. And it says that Satan appeared to him. And Satan said to Jesus, "Look, there's some stones there. Wonderful stones. You could turn them into bread because you're starving. You're really hungry." And Jesus said to him, "Man cannot live on bread alone." Then he took him to the highest mountain and he showed him all the kingdoms of the world. And Satan said to him, "I'm the prince of this world. I have authority and I will give you all their authority and splendor. It's been given to me and I can give it to anyone who I choose. If you worship me," Satan said to Jesus, "then I'll give you all this." And Jesus said, "It is written, worship the Lord your God and him alone." Then Jesus took him to Jerusalem, to the highest temple. He said, "Fall down and the angels will catch you." And that would be was written in the Old Testament. So Satan was saying what was in the Old Testament. He knew the Old Testament, and he said, "Those angels will catch you if you jump down." And Jesus said, "No, do not put the Lord your God to the test." And he dismissed Satan, and Satan went off. The thing is, Jesus went through temptation, didn't he? He understands what it's like to be tempted. But the point is that we have to try and not give in to temptation. A Red Indian chief was once asked, "How do you resist temptation?" And he says, "Well, I've got 2 dogs in me. One dog is a really evil dog, and one dog is a good dog." And I said, "Well, which one dog do you listen to?" And the Red Indian chief says, the dog that I feed the most. You see, do we feed our temptations? Do we give in? We don't. We need to pray. Matthew 26:41, Jesus said this: watch and pray that you're not fallen into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. You know, we've got to pray every single day. We get tempted to do wrong. Satan's going to try and get us to fall. Every day we have to watch. Peter said this: your enemy the devil prowls round like a roaring lion looking for somebody to devour. Stand firm in the faith. And so we have to be watchful every day. We think, I'm going to take my thoughts captive, as Paul said to Corinthians. Take your thoughts captive. Watch in that every situation. Am I going to give in to temptation? And the second thing is pray, ask God to help. Jesus knew what it was to be tempted, but he did not resist. And we need to pray and say, God, please help me. Help me to stand firm. Help me to stand strong. Help me not to give in to temptation. But also, it says here, Paul said this: if you think you're standing firm, be careful that you don't fall. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you're tempted, he will also provide a way out so you can endure it. And so God is with us. We have to be watchful. We have to pray. We have more of the Holy Spirit and ask God to help. Paul said this in Ephesians 6. He talked about the arm of God. And two of the pieces of armour, well, there's quite a few pieces of armour that are important. The helmet of salvation, you see, all temptation starts off in the mind. And then we think about it, which is why Paul said to the Corinthians, take your thoughts captive. We have to first of all not allow temptation to get into our mind. We need the helmet of salvation. We need the shield of faith so that when Satan throws those fiery arrows at us, we can block them. And we need the sword of the Spirit. We also need the breastplate of righteousness, the shoes of the gospel and the belt of truth. But you know, we are in a battle and we need to stand firm. So we need the arm of God every day. Pray, God, protect me. Help me to stand firm. Help me to be holy just as you are. And please help me to resist temptation so that people can see your love, your presence, your fruit and your goodness in me. So this morning my word is, lead us not into temptation. Ask God to help you to stand firm for him. Thank you.